What's good, comic book fam? It's your boy Mike Carson, Super Slabs Comics, coming to you with an all new free comic book game. I'm here with my main man Otis, who has quite possibly one of the greatest original art collections I've ever seen.
Agreed.
Otis, my man, welcome to the show.
What's good? Thank you for having me.
Hey, I appreciate you stopping by today. Drop some jewels on these folks out here
No doubt.
and kind of school them in the game of original art as well as some of the great artists that you always talk about because I'm a novice myself on some of these things. So
Okay.
hopefully I got my pen and pad ready. And
Solid.
I want to start off by asking you, what originally got you into collecting comics, like initially?
Initially, my grandmother she was a housekeeper,
Okay.
and she would bring home, stuff, clothing, food, whatever. You know what I'm saying that they didn't want. So one day she brings me a Green Army backpack, and she's, I think you'll like what's in here, and she gives it to me, and it has like 7 or 8 comic books in it. Power Pack. I think there was a Conan in there, a couple of Spider-Man, stuff like that. And that was it. I took that backpack with me everywhere. I read those comics. I carried that bag with me even to the amusement park. I didn't want to get on the roller coasters. I was sitting on a bench eating popcorn, reading my comic book.
Nice.
So that,
So nice. That's a dope thing to get started into. So
yeah.
initially, was there any characters that you gravitated to towards, starting out?
Um, when I was a kid, I loved the Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
I really love the Incredible Hulk for so many different reasons. I've even posted a picture on my personal page. I think I'm like 6 or 7, and I have an Incredible Hulk tank top on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's how long I've been, loving the Hulk. So he was the one, him, and then Wolverine, and it
Okay.
kind of went from there. Yeah, yeah,
I think all of us were Wolverine fans with the '90s cartoon, the X-Men cartoon, and everything. It
yeah,
kind of that's where I kind of got my start into the X-Men and my fandom or whatever. And I initially started, like you said, with the Wolverines, the Fantastic Fours, Incredible
yeah,
Hulks, of the like. So,
yeah.
um, so as you got older, how did your collecting habit change?
Well, I'm an artist.
Okay.
I'm a tattoo artist. I've been tattooing for 25 years. I'm a sculptor as well, with clay. I also learned a new superpower, and I can build things with wood. But we'll talk
Okay.
about that later. But that's what I do. I draw. So what I would do is when I would read comics, I would read them first, and then I'd go back and I'd study the artwork. And by doing that, I would know what to do when I draw. Someone, Ken Lashley, I met him in '94. He gave me um, my first piece of original art, and it was a 2 page with Sentinels and Rachel Phoenix. And at the time, I had no idea of like what I actually had.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying. I was hanging it up with tape on the wall. Just what I'm saying. It
Yeah.
went with me. It went with me everywhere I went. You know what I'm saying. Any room that I lived in, because I bounced around a lot. And it would always go up on the wall. You know what I'm saying. That was like my first piece of original art. And from that point, I started to like see sketches and con sketches, and then I got into the original pages and stuff like that. And I have plenty here to show you if you want to see what I'm talking about. But that's why I went from comic books to original art. I still collect comics, but original art is really where my passion is.
Okay. So you mentioned original art. Can you give a brief, I guess, description of sorts? What differs original art from comic books? Like, what exactly is original art?
Okay, original art is the artwork that is used to make the comic.
Okay.
I will show you an example. And
Yeah.
I pulled this piece out just for you, Mr. Carson. This is my only, well, one of two DC pieces that I have because I usually only collect Marvel.
Okay.
But this right here, I had to get the Wall. I had to get Amanda Waller.
Man of the
You know what
Wall
I'm saying?
Waller.
No, that's right. That's right. So this is an original page, and also the other thing about when I collect, I like to collect moments.
Okay.
That's very important to me. And this, she's emotional in this panel, this page. She's emotional because one of her teammates, I believe, is Reflect, is she thinks he's dying, and she's actually crying. So imagine Amanda Waller crying.
Yeah. I was,
Right,
I
you
was
know what I'm
gonna
saying?
say, hey, that's a rare
Right,
moment right there.
exactly. So, but this page right here, this is from Invasion issue number 3,
Okay.
and this right here is what you see. This is what's under all the color that's on a comic book page. So
Okay.
this right, yeah. So this is used to make the comic books.
Okay. So it's a
It
breakdown by page, and then
page
eventually it
by
becomes a
page.
book. Okay.
Right, exactly.
All right. You mentioned Amanda Waller. Uh, so I guess I would ask: is there any advice that you would give to folks out there that want to get into collecting original art? Is there a starting point that you got into, or is
Mm-mm.
it just something more they should just dive head first into?
No. You gotta, yeah. What they say, you gotta crawl before you walk. You know what I'm
Understandable.
saying?
Yeah.
You know, and I say that because this hobby, it's an endless rabbit hole.
Okay.
Seriously, like there's so many ways. I mean, even with collecting comics, you know what I'm saying? There's so many ways to collect. But when you get into original art, like my advice would be to start out low. You can go on eBay, check out things there, but also try to make sure there's a certificate of authentication
Okay.
that comes with it, unless you either have dealt with this person before or they have pictures of the artist actually doing it or pictures of the artist with it in his hands. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people that have a huge light box and they trace stuff. So that's why
Okay.
you have to be really really careful. Try to go to reputable sources. I have a few that I've always thrown out there, and just look. I say start out small and work your way up.
Okay.
Start out with like a sketch, or you go to a Comic Con and ask an artist, could you draw a picture of whoever for me, and that can be your first original piece. Cost you
Okay.
about 100 $150 depending on the artist, and then once you get that one original piece and you know that that's a one of one, which is another reason why I like to collect this stuff, you're going to want more,
Okay.
and it kind of goes from there. So just I say focus on one character, or one title, and then work your way up.
Okay. I do want to note, make sure folks didn't just miss that. Most original art is one to one. So
Yes.
that's the key to it. It's an expensive part of the hobby, nonetheless. So, like you said, take your time, dive into it as you can. And I do have a question. I know some art is ink, some is pencil. So I do want you to kind of differentiate what would be more important for someone to pay attention to when they're looking for original arts, just to make sure they're getting the real deal, not
Right.
reprints, etc.
Right. Right. Okay. All right. So there's several different kinds of original art. And see, this is where it kind of gets tricky because there are some people, all right, there's different kinds. There's blue line, and blue
Okay.
line is where the pencil artist sketches everything out in blue line, scans it, and sends it to the inker.
Okay.
So when the inker inks it, then he sends it to the colorist and then they color it. So technically, the inked version is original art, and it also went into the production of that comic book, a particular comic book page.
Okay.
But there's no pencils under it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So some people say I don't mess with blue lines because blue lines, that's not original. Technically, it is. You know what I'm saying? But the pencils, those stay with that artist, and then usually like the inker will sell his, the pencil guy will sell his, and that's how it goes. And a lot of stuff is digitally colored, so it's very rare to get color on your original art. So
Okay.
that's what you have to look out for, the blue line, if you are like a purist and you want the pencil as well as the ink.
Okay. And what about dates, times, stamps, signatures, and things of that nature? Is that important as well?
Not to me. Not to me. I'll be honest with you. A lot of my artwork, I don't have the COA, the certificates, up for them because I get them directly from the artist,
Okay.
and they'll give me the option to do it. But the one art rep, an artist, we were talking, and he was like, "You don't need a certificate off because you're here. You're
Yeah.
always here, so
Yeah.
you don't need proof." And I'm not selling my stuff either. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? 'Cause, if you plan on flipping it, get the certificate of authenticity, and make sure that you have it, because people are going to want that proof. People are going to want emails between you and the seller, just to prove, that it's real.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess lastly, I would ask, do you think that pairing original art with the comic book is essential, or when you go about your collecting habits, do you just go straight for the art original? Uh, I see a lot of people like to pair the book with the pages
Right.
themselves. So
Right. I'm not one to frame my artwork. A
okay,
lot of people, frown upon the way I collect my original artwork. And see, being an artist for me, they look really cool framed and with the page. It really looks nice. But for me, I like to study the pages. I like to break them out. Mine is all in a portfolio,
let me
a
see what
couple
you're
of
talking about.
portfolios.
Let me see a
Okay.
portfolio
All
example.
right. All right. Well. All right. Well, let me do this. Now,
Uh oh. Uh
this
oh.
is the
Uh oh.
black. Yes, that's right. See, see,
It's the
see,
big
see.
dog moment right
That's
there.
right. This right here. This is the black glove moment, and
Understandable.
we break out the black gloves when we handle original artwork,
Okay.
because you don't want to smear it, you don't want to smudge it. You know what I'm saying? You want to be very, very careful with it, especially if you don't frame it.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you an example of a blue line. Okay. All right. So this is Black Panther number 38, page 4, by what is his name? Palta, Germani Palta. I think that's his name.
Okay.
Okay, and this was my very first. This is called a splash page.
Yep.
Splash page is one or two images on just a blank background, or everything, like this one central focal point. All
Okay.
right. These tend to be more expensive than others because splash pages are special because they're big. This has a lot of detail in it. This is T'Challa against Killmonger.
Very nice.
T'Challa in his armor with the thrice blessed sword. Killmonger in his armor. The mask that was the inspiration for the mask from the movie
Okay.
is that. All right. So now this is an example of blue line. If you look closely, there's a blue line in there. But what he did was he did his own blue lines, and
Okay.
he inked it himself. So
Nice.
I have the pencil to this as well. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So he threw that in for me. Now this right here, this is from Black Panther number 17. I'm a T'Challa fan.
I see.
I'm
I
not
can
a,
look
I'm,
around
yeah,
the decor in the
right,
background. I can see the
right.
shirt.
I'm a T'Challa fan. I'm a Black Panther. I love the Black Panther, but I'm a fan of the man T'Challa.
Okay.
So most of my stuff is Black Panther, him in a costume, but I try to get as many pieces of just him as a man. Like this was very special to me because this is him as a little boy with Zuri.
Okay.
and they're in the garden. Now this right here is an all pencil page, no blue lines. This is original. This is Sal Belluto, and the Christopher Priest run.
One
And
of the
this is
best
all,
runs of all time.
no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. This is all pencil, and I got he signed this for me.
Okay.
All right. So now I get this page. This is Black Panther number 11, page 11 by Ken Lashley. All right. This is T'Challa again. No man, T'Challa the man in all the
Yeah.
Dora. All
A
the
lot of
Dora.
detail on that one.
Yeah, right, exactly. This is all original pencil, all original ink by Ken Lashley, and I believe his name's Paul Neary. Now,
Paul
this
Neary
is
did the ink.
yes, he did the ink. All
Okay.
right, so now this piece right here, no blue line, all original. A piece like this, I do not recommend buying first.
Okay.
Because if you buy a piece like this is one of my all-time favorite pieces because this shows him as him. And Ken Lashley is the man when it comes to Black Panther, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's Big Bro. I've known him for almost 30 years. Or 30 years. So if you get something like this, you're not going to buy anything small after this.
For sure.
You're going to want, you know what I'm saying? That's what's going to
That
happen.
rabbit hole you was talking about.
Right, exactly. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to start out with something like this, unless you're ready to get busy. Now this piece right here is from Wolverine Evolution.
Okay.
This is both two of my favorites, Black Panther versus Sabretooth, and this is by Simone Bianchi. This page has ink wash as pencils and ink wash. And so that's another level when it comes to original art. Because most artists do theirs in pen and ink. Some artists use acrylics, oil paints, ink wash to define what they have. Now, as you can see, this page is a lot more defined than the page I just showed you. I mean, the other page with Ken Lashley, it had crazy.
It still had a lot of detail, yeah.
Right. It has crazy detail. Simone, his artwork is kind of dark with the shadows. You know what I'm saying? That's how he does his. Now, a page like this costs. This is something that you probably won't grab until like maybe 3 years in, just because of the rarity and also how to go about getting something like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a piece like that, they would add color and everything, and then that would go ahead and make the production of the comic going down.
Right. They would take that and they would scan it, and then most digitally color, and then that would get scanned and then made into comic book pages.
Okay.
Mm. That's why I say real quick. That's why I've been for years. I've been talking about like original art in our groups, and I would much rather pay $250 for an original page than pay $150 for a book that's slabbed that has that page in it. And that's just me. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just me.
And that's more than likely because, like you said, it's a one-on-one. You'll be the only one that has it, and I mean the detail on that is, it's handmade right there. So instead of being scanned and digital, so yes, I can understand that for sure. I seen you digging for something else over there. I ain't want to, stop your motion. I asked the question or whatever.
I wanted to show one page that has some color. And it's from mine and a lot of other people in here's favorite runs. Killmonger.
Okay.
Issue number 5. Now this is by Juan Fierra. I think that's how I'm saying his last name. Now this has color, ink wash, pencil, ink, and color. His pages come with color. Now this is a rarity too, because most artists, they don't do their own color. Okay. So if you can get a page that has color on, like has all the elements, like this page has like 5 of the elements that I look for when I try to find something. And if you find something like this, I say go for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Definitely go for it. But yeah, so that's just another version of what original art you can purchase.
get out of there. Understandable. So, as you go to shows, I'm assuming these pieces are already pre-made. There's not something that you're requesting on the spot or anything like that. These are actual pages that were pre-made for comics beforehand,
Mhm.
correct?
Right.
Very.
They're the original pieces from the production. And I don't know, like I mean, you can go to some art dealers. A lot of art dealers have them. I prefer to go to the artist.
In
I
person.
want to, yeah. I prefer to go to the artist because then you can talk to them about it. What were you thinking about when you made this page? This page was very impactful. What was on here and how it was drawn? How did you do it? And then you kind of, and that's another thing. You develop relationships.
Okay.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. I always, that's just one of my things. I like to say that because you have to take the slow road. You know, I've known Ken Lashley for 30 years. I've known Simone Bianchi for, I want to say, since 2009.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, and you see these people at shows, Joe Jusko. I finally met Don McGregor, a couple of months ago.
Very nice.
Jungle Action. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, but I developed a relationship with him online. Talking to him, you commenting on his stuff, he comments on mine. He shares my stuff, I share his. So you develop relationships with these artists and writers, and then when you see them at shows, you finally meet them. It's like you already know them, and then you can share something with them. Like if they give you a piece of original art, they drew that. And
Yes.
any artist, and I'm speaking from experience,
Okay.
anything that I create, I put some of me in it. So when I give somebody something or something that I make, one of my custom toys or even this, I part of me is in here. So when an artist gives me a piece of original art from that artist, it means something to me. They're giving me a piece of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I take this seriously and I have a passion for it. So yeah.
So while we're speaking about artists, I heard you in the past mention that a lot of artists give you tips, advice. You learn from them. What
Yes.
advice would you give to fellow artists out here that's getting started in the comic book game, or just art in general, that you picked up along the way that you could pass on to try to help some of the brothers that's coming into this game?
Okay. All right. If we're talking about like producing artwork, um, I would say the best piece of advice I got was um, from a 91-year-old German gentleman in Disney World. He
Okay.
was a senior a legend artist for Disney, and he worked for Thomas Kincaid. Thomas Kincaid is a famous painter, and I throw that in there, about him being German because I didn't know how our interaction was going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like you got an older gentleman. I didn't know how he was going to take me or how he's going to feel.
For sure.
And you never judge a book. You can't judge a book by its cover. And I don't do that. I was just, you gotta have your foot on the brake just in case.
Understandable.
And I asked him a question, and he stopped drawing, and he looked at me, and he told me, "Draw what you like. It doesn't matter if the lines are straight. It doesn't matter if the circle is perfect. You draw what you feel."
Okay.
And the people,
I'm not sure I understand.
Siri's trying to talk to me. The people who feel it will feel it, and
Okay.
the ones who don't. Do not draw for anybody else. You draw for yourself. That's the main thing. You draw for yourself. If you got a gig and you got a certain character you got to draw, do that, but draw them the way you want to draw 'em.
Okay.
So that yeah. So do you.
That's
Now
dope.
as for collecting, I say collect what you want. there's a lot of like the FOMO and I got this book and this book's coming out, so I gotta pre-order it and or he's getting it or everybody's getting it. I gotta give me one too. And I've done that too, and I still do it. Collect what you like. You have to collect what you like. You collect who you like. It's cool to take advice from others because that's what we do in this community. But don't be pressured into liking this character. Don't don't um don't jump. I say don't jump on the bandwagon.
For sure.
Like who you like. Herschel likes Meteor Man,
He lets the world know too
and he
every
lets
time
the
he.
world know it. Shout out to Herschel. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? That's his guy. So you like who you like.
Yeah. And
That way, and like me, yeah, good.
that's all good. Keep going.
No, yeah, sure. No, you got
So
it. You talking. I'm sorry.
me personally, I'm a DC guy, so I get a lot of flack sometimes. Everyone's a Marvel guy these days or whatever. But I grew up on the Batmans and Supermans of the world back in the '80s, watching those movies in the '90s up until present. DC
Mm-hmm.
was the main draw. Batman the animated series, the Justice
Yes.
League. Those are some of the greatest cartoons I ever seen. So that kind of pulled me into those characters. And to this day, I gravitate towards that more just because that's what I like as a personal, collector. So one last thing I would like to ask about original art: is there one site or place for those out there who can't get to shows that you would recommend to start a maybe a journey on down the line
Yes.
as far as
Uh,
original art?
Original art. My man, Matt DiTullio, DiTullio Art Collective. He's on
Okay,
Instagram and he's on Facebook.
all right,
I don't know if we put it in the chat or something but yeah, him. That's my guy. He's got awesome stuff. Another thing, I forgot to mention earlier. Sometimes people will be hesitant because original art costs. It costs. It costs. You
yes,
know what I'm saying? It's an
yeah,
expensive hobby. It really is. Um, there are artists who have time payment plans. You know what I'm saying? If
okay,
something costs 500, you know what I'm saying? Nobody, people don't just have dough like that, and everybody
yeah,
understands. Some artists will say, "Well, I have to have it now, whatever." But a lot of artists, I'm saying 85% of them will, if you are someone who buys from them, some cost 500, but listen, I really want this piece and I don't want to come back to the website and it's gone. If I give you 200, could you hold it for me? And then I pay you, 150 here, 100 there, whatever.
for
And
sure.
and that makes it a little bit easier. I have pieces that I've taken a year to pay. And if you have a relationship with that person, they'd be cool with you to do it.
Yeah,
But the Tulio Art Collective, that's number one. That's my guy. Anthony's Comic Art,
okay,
um, he .com. He's another one. He's reputable. eBay is good. A lot of people
okay,
hate on eBay. I mean, with the fees and all that stuff. But eBay, you can catch some deals on eBay. You can catch some really cool stuff that nobody's looking for. You know what I'm saying? And you can
yeah,
catch it for the low. You definitely catch it for the low. So eBay's a good spot too. If you have a certain person or character you want to look for, type his name in Google and say Black Lightning original art, and
okay.
it'll come up. Any picture that has been drawn by an artist at a comic book convention, somebody posted for sale, eBay, the different websites that are selling, it'll pop up, and then you just click on it and you just go. But I'm telling
Nice.
you, you're gonna be there for a couple hours.
So I would be remiss if I didn't pay attention. The poster you have behind you of the legendary Billy Graham there, if I ain't mistaken.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, yes.
Take a moment to basically explain to the comic book world how important he is in the comic book world to you.
Okay. And I take great pleasure in doing this. Billy
Okay.
Graham is the GOAT. Everybody who knows me knows that I'm a super fan of Billy Graham. Jungle Action is my all time favorite Black Panther run. Don McGregor and Billy Graham, Rich Buckler, like that was phenomenal for me. Mr. Graham was the first Black art director for Warren
Okay.
Publishing. Actually
Okay.
for magazines, period. And Warren Publishing put out Eerie and Creepy and
Yeah.
those magazines from back then. He was the first uh, Black artist to be at Marvel to do Black Panther and Luke Cage. He was in the
Okay.
creation of Luke Cage. I might be forgetting some stuff. When it comes to Billy Graham, like I get excited. I know I'm sure
Oh,
you
for
see the
sure.
temperature change when you said it. Like I got like I was honored and had the pleasure of meeting his granddaughter, Shauna.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shauna Graham and the Graham family. So dope. They are awesome. I do what I can to spread his name, to keep his legacy alive, and
Okay.
and and let people know who he is. And this is a very, very important man. And also, I'm so glad that you mentioned him because I was going to say something before we got off here. Last day of Black History Month, this man was inducted. He's getting a Eisner Award, and is getting
Okay.
put in the Hall of Fame this year at San Diego
Nice.
Comic Con. Him,
Nice.
him, Don McGregor, E.B. Stoner as well. But that was something that I found out a couple of days ago. I was gonna make a post about it, so I'm glad I was able to give you the exclusive. And I'm gonna make a post about it as soon as we get out of here. But
Very
Billy
nice.
Graham, a lot of cats. There wouldn't be a lot of cats without him. He was
Okay.
the blueprint. He was the start of it. That's in my opinion. In my opinion.
Okay.
But yeah,
Is
yeah.
is there a comic out there, since most of the collectors here are comic collectors? Is there a comic of his that you can suggest, affordable, that's out there that people can go seek out?
Hmm.
One that you might love. It don't have
Ju-
to be.
no, I hear you. Any of his Jungle Action.
Okay.
Jungle Action number 10 was when he took over, but before then, like in I have number 6. This is Killmonger.
Yeah.
First appearance of Killmonger. Any Jungle Action book has his artwork in it,
Okay.
and you can get them online, eBay, even. I say reader copies. Get reader copies. Jungle Action books are kind of they can run you a little bit just because of the popularity of them. But if you want to read the whole story, there's an actual graphic novel. But I know we're talking comic books here. So you Jungle Action would be the best way to go. Get some reader copies. You get a couple like online for like $4 or $5. You will fall in love with the artwork. He was doing
Okay.
things. He was doing things back then with his imagination that people are just now doing. You know what I'm saying? So those are pretty affordable books,
Okay.
Jungle Action books. Mhm.
So we spoke about everyone else's artwork. Can't leave you out, being an artist as yourself. Please show us something of your own creation. And
Oh,
I know you're sitting
oh,
in a whole room
what?
of everything there. So
Right. And I did it, and
I
I'm
mean to
not
put
gonna
you on the
front.
spot right
I
there.
surrounded myself with. Oh no, bro. I surrounded myself with a bunch of stuff to show you just in case. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind talking about what I got. Um, I will show this right here. All right, this. And when Big Phil sees this, he's gonna be very mad at me because I was supposed to send him pictures of this a long time ago. This is the Black Lion. This
Okay.
is a statuette of a figure that I'm going to have at New York Comic Con this year. This is
Okay.
my first figure. I make like I like doing mini sculptures of things. I do big stuff too, but I like doing mini sculptures. And this is my first figure. I mean, I do Black Panther stuff all day long, but this is me. This is my, they call me the Black Lion. That's my nickname. That's what I've been going by for 25 years. And this is my first action figure. He's gonna have like these big black wings. There's gonna be two versions of him. One's gonna be solid black like this. The other one is gonna be a little tattered and blood. You know what I'm saying? That's like the I'm gonna do a variant of it. But
Okay.
I created this. This is my guy. So this is
Okay.
this is my guy. I have also, because I'm a Black Panther fan, I like
I,
to I like
I
to
was
do
hoping you was
things.
gonna show that.
Okay, cool. I like to have things in my collection that aren't there. Actually, last night, shout out to brother Richard. Me and him were having a conversation, and he said to me, he was like, "I love your fandom because you," and I hope he doesn't get mad at me for telling you this, but it touched my heart when he said it. He said, "You're like a kid." He said, "You're not a kid. You're not a kid. You're a grown man." He said, "But you're like a kid. Like you do, like a kid will read a comic book and then go try to make something from the book." And that's what I do. I see things, in the lore of Black Panther, and I say, you know what? I want one of those for my collection. I got all
Yeah,
types of stuff. I got, Solomon's Frog. That's one of my, I got a couple of people who want a couple of these because I showed them.
I bet you.
Uh,
As soon as you seen it, I heard them in the chats like, "Hey, yo, like,
yeah,
come
yeah,
on,
right, yeah,
come on."
yeah. This right here, I'm a
Ooh,
huge M'Baku fan. M'Baku is my guy. M'Baku was the first black character that I had ever seen in a comic book. It was
okay.
West Coast Avengers #2, and he was working with the Grim Reaper. And in that book, which is so wild, man, in that book there was racism. Like Grim Reaper was calling him and Black Talon like slaves, and like this was my first time seeing this, and I'm like, I don't like this guy, but
Yeah.
I like the way he handled his business. But anyway, then I saw his ties to Black Panther, and so what I do is I don't just go like there's M'Baku, but I want like Jabari. I'm talking the white gorillas who were created by Billy Graham and Don McGregor in issue Jungle Action number 13, which is an affordable
Okay.
book too, about $7.
That's that.
Um, this was the gorilla god, and T'Challa went to fight him, and there was a whole village of them, and he had to fight this one, and he ended up killing it. And he had a conscious thing with him, like he killed one of the things that he grew up with thinking was a god. So that's another one of those humanity things about T'Challa that I like. But anyway, I wanted to make a gorilla. I
For
wanted to
sure.
make the same gorilla from that, and I also bought a couple of other ones and painted them white. So I got to, I'm letting loose a little secret here. What I'm doing is I'm buying a bunch of M'Baku figures, and
Okay.
I'm remaking them and customizing them, and I'm making a whole Jabari tribe. You know what I'm saying? All like them, when they, you remember when they
Yeah,
came
for
through
sure.
in the
Yeah,
beginning? Yeah, I'm
yeah.
making a whole Jabari tribe. So
That's
I
dope.
just go, yeah, I just go in. So yeah, I found an old Rampage gorilla and I repainted it. So
Okay.
when I see old toys, I make new stuff out of them. I think, let me see. I got one more thing. Prowlers. Okay, Prowlers showed up in Christopher Priest run, and
Okay.
also the Pouncers showed up in Rise of the Black Panther. And the Pouncers were made by Killmonger. Well, he sabotaged and took over, whatever. But anyway, they're giant mech cats. So I found this toy. I can't remember what it was, and I just customized it, repainted it. I'm gonna
Very
do like
nice.
it's gonna be red here, and the eyes have tape over them. I'm gonna open them up, and there's a switch where when you turn it on, the eyes turn red and the mohawk turns red. But I'm gonna cut a hole. This is what I do. I'm gonna cut a hole in the mouth, and I'm gonna put a beam in here, so when they open its mouth, the red beam comes straight out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
that's the type of stuff that I do. That's the type of stuff I do.
Fire.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, you good. You good.
So,
All
are
right.
any
Yeah,
of
I'm
these
sorry. I can talk
pieces?
about the stuff all
No,
day.
no, no. I love it. I want you to at least give a plug to your socials or anywhere it's that anyone out there that when these items are available down the line, they can reach out to you. Maybe they can work something out. Maybe you might be able to do some custom work for them, however way it goes.
Oh yeah, 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 definitely, definitely. On Instagram, I'm Black Lion 3 Toy Maker, and on Facebook, Otis Arterberry.
Okay,
I'm pretty low key. I don't, I don't have a whole lot of those. I don't. I mean, you see how long it took us to do with the
for
earpiece. You know,
sure.
what I'm saying? I could you had to guide me through the phone. So I'm
That's
not
all right.
really good with the technical side. So I don't really get on Facebook, and I'm not on social media a lot. But I do check my messenger. I do check my messages. And if you want something customized, I can take care of it for you. I also did one other one. I'm sitting here. Uh, I am a Killmonger fan. I'm like a super Killmonger fan. Right behind T'Challa, and I need every version of Killmonger. This is King
Okay.
Killmonger. I used a Destroyer toy, Marvel Legends toy, repainted them, did a customized head. It's still a work in progress. I still have a couple things that I have to do, but I have a showcase over here, and I have a shelf with like almost every version of Killmonger that has been in comics. The original version from the movies, all that. So
Yeah.
this is just another piece that I'm still working on.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
So I,
Yeah.
I I would be salty if the people didn't quite pay attention to what you're sitting on right there. Uh, I know it's
Okay.
a close shot right now, but if you give me a chance to step up, stand to the side for a second, and at least show off, the throne of thrones right there, and give
I
a little
will.
explanation of the inspiration behind it.
Okay. All right. Cool. So okay. So you're gonna we're gonna what we're
Yeah,
gonna
we
do?
good.
We good.
Nah,
Okay.
we
Good.
good to
Okay.
go.
Okay. Good. 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 Okay. All right. So. Oh wait. Before I go, I got Mike Grell to do this one. Tyrod.
Nice.
DC. That's the other DC one. I pulled out.
This
I
is
pulled out for you.
first appeared Superboy 216, if I recall correctly.
That's it. That's it. Yep. That's it. Okay. All right. So just give me a second.
Why he's taking the time to go through this. Just want to make sure everyone go out to Super Slabs Comics on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. Tell all your friends about it. We're trying to gain up some support, trying to get more interest in. Any artists, comic collectors, toy collectors out there that are looking for any particular pieces that you guys seen on any of these shows, don't hesitate to reach out to me or anyone else, because a lot of these pieces are for sale, and I would happily get you into contact with any of the artists, any of the collectors, just so you can, you know, grow your collection a little bit there. So
Now, let me see. Okay, now I'm gonna try to switch this around. Can I switch the camera around?
yep, you just hit the little. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yep,
Which one?
you're good. I can see it now.
Okay. Well, this is okay. All right. So I guess I gotta do selfie style. Okay, that's cool. Um. All right. So this is the throne. What happened was I wanted a reading chair. I wanted my own reading chair, and I was gonna make. And my father-in-law, he's a carpenter, and I bought a picture of the original throne from the movie, and I said, "Do you think I can make this?" And he was like, "Do you think you can make it?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." So then we got into the barn. That's where it was, where all his tools were, and I started building. And I worked on the bottom part. I mean, can you see what? Can you see this, Mike?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, yeah, I don't. So yeah, I worked on the bottom part while I was there, and then I ended up bringing it back to the studio, and I just started working. So I'm just gonna show you. It's still a work in progress. There's a
Okay.
lot of pieces that Like some of it's just tack glued, some of it's painted, some of it isn't. I'm trying to get in close
Oh
enough.
no, we can see the detail.
Oh, you can? Okay, good. Because
Yeah.
I'm behind the camera, so I have no idea what I'm showing you. So I'm just winging it. Now, the metal stuff, I have a very good friend, my bro Barry. He works at a metal shop, and he's a welder. And he surprised me and bought me this. And then I'm like, real? And then he was like, and I bought you another one. So all the way down here. So these are solid metal, stainless steel. And so then because of the accents, I started using some aluminum and other metals to, just kind of bring it off. Now the top up here in Wakandan, that's his Arterberry. That's my last name.
Okay,
So
nice.
this, you know what I'm saying? So I put that up there. It was actually my grandson's idea, which was awesome. So I had him, find the Wakandan letters online. So I gave him a project to do. He found it. We drew it together. So, because this chair is like, it's a family heirloom. It's something, that my kids loved, and they love seeing me build it because I had a good time. I had a good time doing it.
And you included them, so that's even dope.
Exactly. And what's really cool is I've never built anything this big. I call it my big beautiful monster because it's a Frankenstein. I just grab pieces of excess wood or whatever you want to call it and just put things together.
Is the rug there?
Oh yeah. I'm hoping you can see it. Can you see it?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so now you know about the rug. Do I need to explain the rug?
Go ahead and explain it for everybody.
Okay, all right. It's a little it has a few things on it, just because it's where I sit. Now the rug is this is that gorilla that I just showed you, the white gorilla.
Yeah.
This is him because this is the rug that T'Challa has in his throne room of that gorilla that he killed. So I decided that I wanted a white gorilla throne rug. Now I found a mask online, and I glued some stuff to it. I made some hands. I actually posted some pictures online and showed you what it looked like through the process. So it wasn't really that hard to do, and I just got to sew everything together. So this is, like I said, it's all a work in progress, but this is my rug.
Very nice.
All right. I guess since I don't know if you can see, this is my corner. This is my reading area. So it has everything, original artwork from certain artists. My son drew that one up there for Happy Father's Day. Ken Lashley stuff, Simone Bianchi stuff, toys, picture of my grandmother, all my Black Panther books. Let me swing over here. Oh, that gauntlet. I know you know about the gauntlet.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, you know about the gauntlet. This is, I don't know can you see?
Yep.
Okay. This is my shelf. I was given this by one of my wife's clients.
You can actually back up a step.
Okay. How about that?
There. Yep.
That okay? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Top shelf, all M'Baku. Every version of them, even the one from the intergalactic world of Empire of Wakanda, which I know everybody hates, but I love that story. So every version of M'Baku is at the top. Then if I go down, I'm trying to look through the mirror and see if you can see it. Yeah.
Yep.
These are all my Killmongers.
Okay.
Those are all my Killmongers. Every version from the movie. The original one was a custom one I did. Even his Cheetah Prey. Next shelf is
shout out to Chadwick
Boseman. Yes. The original Billy Graham picture. The one my man Corey Ross art on Instagram. He was the one who did the Billy Graham for me, and
okay.
I was so happy. And that was a 50th birthday present to myself.
Nice.
So one of my clients' children did that Black Panther number 7 in the back for me because I liked it. Billy Graham did a version. I don't know if you can see it in there. I hope it's not a reflection, but he did a version of a Black Panther motorcycle. And Shauna Graham showed me a picture of it, and she posted it online. So I took a Batman motorcycle and I cut up a
Very
Black
nice.
Panther and made it. So that's another thing. Like I said, things in my collection that I like to have, like just like the original art. I got a Casper Cole back there. I have this one with the blood armor on it from the run where he fought Doom. Down here, the Funko Pops and Dora Milaje, and I have all the Harazes, but I took them out because I'm doing a photo shoot right
Okay.
now. So original movie, and this was the inspiration for the
Yeah.
throne that I just showed you. Like this is a mini version.
Yeah.
And I did a mini version like a year ago, and I was like, if I can do the mini version, I can do the big version.
For
So
sure.
this is a mini. Yeah, this is a mini version of it. Here's Madam Slay.
Yeah.
Madam Slay custom that I did, also created by Billy Graham and Don McGregor. So yeah, that's it. And I got a bunch of loose toys around here. That because I'm always building and always moving stuff around. So that's that. Oh man, you got me sweating in here, bro.
Hey, I appreciate you showing off everything for us.
Yeah, no
Taking the
doubt.
time to come out, educate the people on original art, as well as
Mm-hmm.
myself. And brothers, it was an honor just to actually be able to sit down and talk to you for this time.
Yeah, I
So
appreciate it. I appreciate having me. Thank you.
thank you. Everybody out there, my name is Mike. It's my main man Otis. Appreciate you guys stopping out the free comic book game. Let us know if you have any other topics that you want to speak about. Peace.
Peace.